Hi everybody, Brian from Steeda, highlighting our rear sway bar for the Fox Body SN95 and New Edge Mustangs, model years 79 through 2004. Before we get into improving the car, let's go back a little bit into where we started. Back in the 70s, people were looking for something and thinking about things and needed some motivation. And no, it wasn't disco music. It came in the form of the 1979 Mustang, the introduction of the Fox Body Mustang, and evolved all the way through 2004 as we got into the SN95 and then finished off with the New Edge Mustangs. Much of the chassis was the same, so was the enjoyment. These were real cars, real driver's cars. No electronics, no gimmicks, front engine, horsepower and torque, rear wheel drive, and just the right size. Shorter wheelbase so they handled as long as you kept control of it. We're gonna talk about that more in just a moment. But they were fun cars, very visceral and really popular, whether it was in the late 70s into the early 80s, mid 80s, late 80s, early 90s, so on, so on, and so on. It really brought energy back to the Mustang. And with that always comes modifications. We see it with today's cars. In fact, here we are today talking about these nostalgic cars. People either purchasing them, or if you're like Scott Boda, have had yours since college and continue building it. Or another great example is Dario seeking out an 88 Mustang. And why specifically an 88 Mustang? Because, well, Steeda started in 1988 and ever since have been improving and making Mustangs faster and more controllable. So here we are talking about this rear sway bar. The factory bar on the SN95 and Fox Body Mustangs was just this puny little thing. Again, they really wanted to soften the car because they knew a lot of people would be jumping into it. And no one even thought about traction control or things like that back when these cars were originally engineered. The reality is they had to soften the back of the car so it would have understeer, meaning that when you turn the wheel, the car wants to keep going forward. And that's safe. That's a good way to get a car around a corner safely because when you understeer, you're scrubbing speed. But we know that you're here to go faster. And this is why we're starting with the Steeda rear sway bar. We're starting with the rear sway bar for a couple of reasons. One of them we alluded to at the beginning of the video with the natural handling characteristics of the car. And obviously as safety concerns were, well, put into place by the government, the manufacturers, all these different things to keep people safe, and ultimately keeping cars slow and, well, maybe kind of dull at times. The rear sway bars on these cars were tiny and easily overwhelmed by the horsepower, especially as you modified the cars. Throw a set of Flowmasters on it, not only was it faster, it sounded awesome. I can't argue that. It's through the history of Mustangs that we've modified these things. And again, here we are today, especially comparing them to today's cars. We've got a shorter wheelbase car, a lighter car that you can get a lot of horsepower out of. Let's make it handle as well. So here we are with the rear sway bar. Let's get rid of that inherent push or understeer that you have in cornering. So those of you going to the racetrack, attending track days, autocross events, or time trial events, the rear sway bar is going to help the car rotate. It reduces roll from side to side as you're cornering. So it has nearly the same effect as running stiffer rear springs. The nice thing is though, it only comes into play during corners. When you're driving straight, and this is important under hard acceleration, the rear sway bar is neutral. As soon as you start to throw the car into a corner and it pitches a little bit, that's when the sway bar starts to lean on the other side, if you will, and becomes in essence a torsion beam. The stiffer rear sway bar will cause the rear of the car to want to rotate a little bit more, and that ultimately means that now you're able to give throttle inputs to steer the car. This gets rid of that inherent push. Now, if it's gone too far and you're starting to experience some oversteer, well, we also offer a front sway bar. As you've come to expect for a car that's been out since 1979 and had multiple iterations through 2004, there's been a lot of modifications that you guys have made to the car over the years. Whether it's modifying the engine, the 5-liter engine that came in at the 4.6, or Coyote swapped yours. The reality is it's way faster than it's ever been, and you're gonna continue pushing that envelope. And who in the world are we to stop you? And why would we? Go ahead and go crazy with them, but let us help you with the control aspect of it. So in comes the rear sway bar. This is important because it reduces body roll at the back of the car. When we opened the video, we alluded to the fact that the car pushes, understeers in hard cornering. And we know you're pushing these things to the limits because we've seen you, whether it's at NASA time trial events, SCCA autocross events, track days, or just simply carving some corners with your car. We know you're enjoying it and pushing the limits of it. So again, want to help you control that. Now it goes above and beyond just putting a bigger rear sway bar on it. You want a quality part, especially with everything that you've put into the car. So here we are with the rear sway bar. This is a 1-inch thick, solid tubular bar with CNC billet cut ends, fully welded to the tubing. And this is important to note because instead of pinching the tubing at the ends or coining the ends, which is very prone to heat risers, we've gone to a nice thick piece of billet steel. And this is, again, hugely important because we know all the things that you're throwing at the car. Now, another big important thing to the functionality of the sway bar is because it helps reduce roll in the corners, you don't have to run as much spring rate. And this is also important for those of you that enjoy going quickly in a straight line. It allows power transfer onto the back wheels. This, once again, gives you more control in the way the car drives. As you're throwing it through the corners, obviously it helps reduce roll. That means that both tires stay to the ground better. That means that you, as you throttle into it, obviously a little softer rear spring now again, or at least retaining a little bit of a softer rear spring, gives you control out of the corners, gets rid of that nasty push. Again, just more enjoyment. So here we are. A quality piece that's going to match the ever-growing demand that people put on these cars as they become and go to collector car status, as well as improving cornering ability and controllability, thus increasing the fun factor. The Steeda rear sway bar is a direct replacement for the factory bar, and this means it'll bolt right up to the factory control arms or any aftermarket control arms that accept the factory rear sway bar, including the Steeda lower control arms. Definitely check out Steeda.com to see more about the rear sway bar, as well as some of those control arm options that we offer. And if you have questions, don't hesitate to call us or comment below about suggestions we may have in setting the car up correctly for how you're going to use it. If you enjoyed the content of this video, please click like and share with other enthusiasts. Also, hit the subscribe button so that our upcoming videos show up in your YouTube feed. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day.